why you draw the line at like taking a dump in front of someone. Because yeah, you're right. Like you don't want to be sitting there and just.
It was just like, so therefore you have to adopt that philosophy, even though it's making $21,000 a year.
Sweat equity.
Boy, wait till the end of this story because it's got an attachment to a shower head.
That is the vibe for tonight.
No one else needed to know that Dustin was sitting on the floor.
But now everyone will know.
Perfect.
In my childhood bedroom, just to make it all better.
Give.
So I got to travel to China, fly all the way over there. It's freaking 17 hours. When we first got in, we stopped in Hong Kong before we went inland. And so in Hong Kong, everything's expensive. So like me and my boss were sharing a hotel room. And that in itself, I think, is awkward, but it was fine. Like I'd known him long enough. And then we look over towards the bathroom. And the bathroom, the shower is glass on two sides. And you could see into the rest of the bathroom. He's like, I'll shower here, but I'm not pooping. I'm going to the lobby. And so then the owner and our graphic designer, they're sharing a room. They ran into the same thing and they come over and they're like, so you guys gonna watch each other shower? And like they both start laughing. And unbeknownst to us, there are like rolling doors tucked back into the wall that you can pull together at an angle to cover it. We spent like 15 minutes just like laughing about like having shower in front of each other and use the bathroom in front of each other. This is like my first big like international trip, and then for it to be work trip, and now I'm gonna be naked with my boss. Like, oh my god, I might quit today.
I like that your boss was like, I'll shower naked in front of you, but I draw the line taking a dump in front of you. Like,
yeah, I mean, like really think about it. It's like going to the gym.
You can smell me naked, but not after a meal.
It sounds like he really like said that just off the cuff, like no hesitation. Here are my boundaries. I'm firm on it. Like showering's okay. Like he was just so quickly firm.
Well, he solved all the problems at the drop of a hat. But when you think about it, like going to the gym, like guys shower in a big room together. Like you see naked guys all the time there, but taking a dump in front of somebody, that's a little personal.
As someone who has been to a gym or two in his day, only the old ones shower there.
When they get out of the shower and they have their leg up on the bench.
Dude, it's not even a stereotype if it's true. That's the thing. And it's always so weird too, because like their balls are longer than their dick sometimes, and then you're just like I mean, it's not like a completely abnormal issue to have. You know, you're like getting out of the shower, right? And you're like a little chilly. I'd expect a little shrivelage there in the scrotal area, you know?
3 minutes and 48 seconds in, and we're covering dicks already.
But only the old ones.
That's fair. But
because the young ones are already covered.
I gotta say, I just suddenly realized why you draw the line at like taking a dump in front of someone. Because yeah, you're right. Like you don't want to be sitting there and just.
I feel like your ridiculous work moments always happen like when you're younger, because you just don't know what you're doing anyway, and you stumble into these awkward work scenarios. I worked as a marketing assistant on a small real estate agent's team, and he just thought because he paid me that I was also like his personal assistant for any personal assistant needs. And I had to continuously sit down and say, there's a difference between your business and your personal life. I'm getting paid by your business. So I need work-related tasks. And it ended up one time, he sent me to Walmart to get Mother's Day cards for all of like his wife, his grandma, like just all of the women that needed Mother's Day cards. He was just like, can you just go and pick out some cards?
So please say you signed them like love Caitlin. Because that's all you had to do.
That would have been really good. But yeah, he sent me, like he would just send me on ridiculous missions of like, I need you to go do this thing. Or like, I need you to drop me off at the airport for my Denver ski trip. And then he had personal rental properties and he was out of town on his Denver ski trip. So he couldn't collect the rent from one of his tenants. So he was like, I'm going to need you to collect his rent money. He's going to come to the office. You just need to like take it. And I was like, I really don't want to be responsible for that. I don't really think that's a fair ask of me.
It's only waiting to happen.
I'm like fucking 20. And so not only do I still have to do this, the guy hands me a wad full of cash for his rent payment. And I was just like, what drawer can I lock this in until he gets back?
Oh my god, that also sounds like a scam. You know?
Yeah, no, you were involved in illicit dealings there.
Ah, you didn't tell us you money laundered. That's cool.
Yeah, I mean that's exactly what that was. I mean, what is real estate? It's fancy money laundering anyway, but
On your resume, we'll put it as creative diversification of financial assets.
Ooh, yes, let's do that. And he was just kind of like one of those guys too, where he was like, I just don't get it. I don't get why we have an issue. Can you just
Just do the thing.
why can't you do the thing?
Do you think to him
It's
it's because
wild
like
how-
work is personal life?
Well, yeah, I mean, for a real estate agent, like it kind of is, right? Like he's just always a real estate agent at all times, but he was just like, so therefore you have to adopt that philosophy, even though it's making $21,000 a year.
there we go. Yeah, sweat equity is what I call that.
And he's sending me to Walmart to get Mother's Day cards. I've got to drop him off at the airport. I was like, I am not your personal assistant. And he was like, I don't get it. You're on my time anyway. No.
You're on my time.
Sir.
Holy
The
shit.
first thing he's failing to realize is the agency of his employees. They don't work for you, dude. They work for themselves and their ability to keep their fucking lights on. Your business benefiting from that is purely accidental, honestly, for being completely honest.
Man, I'm trying to think in the background, like, what's a good horror story that's funny? It's kind of hard because, like, the trauma is still attached to him.
Mm-hmm.
That's also something that people don't talk about as enough is like work trauma and how real it is.
Oh my god. Yeah, I've spent the past year and a half, like, it's really only the past couple of days that I feel like the sun is warm on my skin again. Like,
Well, there has to be something where you walked into a hotel room and saw some crazy stuff, or
Oh yeah, you had to have seen some crazy shit.
Yeah,
in
who died?
hospitality. Like, come on.
well, those are dark horror stories. I had ones where people died.
Yeah, of course you did. You're working in a hotel. It's what they do. They find dead people. You're amateur corners, honestly.
Oh yeah, no, that one was really bad. Like the quick summation of that is housekeeper had to go to years of therapy on the company because she opened the door to the murder scene of two young kids. The mother had gone insane and killed them brutally in this room. Like, to my understanding, like blood on the ceiling. And then she had like booked the room for like a week and then just fucked off. So when the housekeepers finally were like, there's this weird smell, let's do it. Yeah. That was the darkest one that has ever happened. Like,
It's the smell that gets you, man.
oh,
Have you ever,
I
I
can
mean, like
make
a lot of people smell death. It smells salty and rancid and stuff, but like
deer
the
carcasses.
blood, like the human blood added to it, like and it's festering there for a week. That had to have been
Oh, yeah.
like I imagine they probably knew it was something that wasn't an animal almost immediately when they smelled it.
Oh god, yeah, because rats happen.
Like a familiar smell almost. Like, oh god, oh god.
Yeah, no, that was like probably the worst one. She
Trying to like be funny and quirky about this for a minute, and you were just like, so death.
death. Someone brought it up. I had to lay down the card. Look, I was backed into a corner.
Yeah.
I do actually...
Stop trying to structure this so hard, Caitlin. We're just going.
That's her job. She's doing good at it.
Really my job.
Oh fuck! I just had one that was funny. Shit, it's gone. All right, someone else go. Come back to me in a second. I'll be pondering at this oak tree in the distance.
Which oak tree?
Very
that
nice.
one there behind the window.
Yeah,
That's
right
nice
there.
oak tree.
The one that my boss is watching over. The dragon that hoards all the loot in his giant castle.
Oh my god, I didn't realize it was moving.
I just noticed that too.
Yeah, everything's moving. The
Oh,
trees.
there it goes. It's flexing a
I was
bit.
like, oh no, what is happening?
I wish we would like do something. Some of the ones actually do something, but no.
Damn dragons, man.
Oh no. Okay, I got it. I got to roll with it while High lets me. So I was working at this really fancy hotel. It was over like 22 acres. Like, it was so fancy that our bellhops were quite literally not allowed to drive luggage between the cabanas. You actually had to bike them there or carry them, because we wanted to set a certain precedent that, we were basically slave labor. Had this.
But it looks like hard work.
Oh, it did, and it was great for tips. Like, when you're in
Yeah.
high-end hospitality, yeah, 98% of the tips are like old guys being like, here's 80 cents. Go get yourself and the missus something nice. And you're like, golly gee willikers, sir, I will. Thanks. But every now and then you get somebody who would be like, hey, it's really hot outside and I saw you're sweating. Here's $500. And you're just like, thank you.
Okay.
Do you want anything else? I can get more for you. But like, super pretty place, very modern feeling. And it's important I set this example because the office looked like that in the back end too. And that was the methodology. The front of the house looks like the back of the house. We live what we work. Very like corporate culture. Director was absolute piece of shit. And this was one of my final management jobs that pushed me over the edge into doing a new career. But he had one of those glass window offices. And like, whenever he was on the phone and stuff, you could hear like,
Like customer service.
you'd be like, okay, it's like a semi-soundproof office. Neat. Well, I had hired someone that I had worked with before who was an amazing bellhop, and he wanted to jump up into front desk agent work. This is not rocket science. He's doing a good job. It's his first week. He had a couple fumble moments, but whatever. We're getting through it. The guests love him. The dude's great with him. But the boss only sees a failure. So he pulls me into this room and is like, yeah, Colin, we need to talk. Your friend is not cutting it. And I was like, well, boss, it's been a week. It takes about 30 days to get used to something. It's a new role for him, and we've got him training with people. I'm watching over him. I'm on every shift he's on. He's going to do great. Just be patient. He's like, no. You need to go fucking tell him that we're turning him into a bellhop, and he's getting a pay decrease effective immediately. And I just kind of grinned and was like, that's not how it works. Cue the most intense shouting match I've ever been in my life, where I am screaming at the top of my lungs at this guy, basically saying, like, you are not legally permitted to treat him this way. I will take this to HR. I will take it to the new company that is buying us out. Like, you need to let me do my job. And this guy is screaming at me, basically calling this kid slurs and horrible things. This guy's going off, right? We get to the tail end of it, and basically I'm like, you know what? You want to do this so fucking bad? You go tell him yourself. And I open the door, walk out, and there's just a bunch of people like just looking around, and I'm like, hey guys, what's up? And like the door closes, and he's like pissed. And again, I can hear him in the background, like on the phone, talking to someone, bending like, and they're like, you realize we heard every single word of that, right? I'm like, no, it's soundproof. And they're like, no, guest heard you guys in the lobby.
Oh.
And like, the bright side was my entire team was like, good job. Like, hell yeah. But also upper management heard it. So I'm in the middle of that just like crisis of my only option is to strut out of here and pretend that I knew that all along. So I straight faced it and was like, yeah, well, it was important. And just strutted out like he's inside. I am screaming.
Moment of you.
Oh yeah, no, inside I'm screaming like a little girl. I got in my car and drove home and was like, fuck shit, crap, damn, holy shit. Luckily I got a job offer like the week after and was like, I'm out, I'm done. Like, go away, guys. But like, yeah,
Oh my God.
that was a good horror story.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, that just reminded me of another one. I used to travel to different trade shows, like industry trade shows, and I had met a vendor in Vegas. They really kind of beat our door down, wanted to get our business. I vetted them, went through everything, all their capabilities. Everything was great. Like, I was so excited to come back and tell the owners, like, I found this amazing person that can do this product, and just like, I like laid my soul out for this. I'm like, done, got it. So we go to Orlando, go there for another trade show, and meeting with him to like sign the deal. Like, this was it. Everybody signed off. We're good to go. He just needed to sign. Well, he proceeds to get annihilated, like blackout drunk. And he's like, oh, let's just go to this one more bar and like we'll meet tomorrow. And I'm like, dude, like I don't really want to. And he's like, no, it's cool. And so he walks in and he's been in the industry for forever. He walks in, I'm not kidding you. So the bar's set up, it's like a loungy type area. They have like couches and like coffee tables. This dude goes Supermaning over the couch, across the table, knocks all of the glasses off, breaks like vases that are like sitting on the shelf on the wall, jumps up and lands in people's laps. This is the co-founder of a multi-million-dollar company that I just sold the owners of the company I was working for on. And it's like, they're going to be the ones to do it. I was like, oh shit. He was so hungover the next day. He couldn't meet to sign anything. He couldn't meet to do anything. And it was like 3 days before I heard back from him. And I was just like, oh my God, like I did everything I could to get them in the door. And then he's Supermaning across the bar in front of all industry experts.
That's
You
awesome.
literally mean he was just like, yeet.
Yeah, he went running and just
He fell up.
like, I was like, what are you? I almost said his name. I'm like, dude, what are you doing? Like,
He's just out here sabotaging the world.
yeah, yeah. Oh,
Oh my
that
god.
was fun.
Holy crap.
Ain't no party like a rich guy party.
Okay, this slightly reminds me though. It's starting to jog the memory. It's mostly hotel stories because like agency stories are kind of like so and so got catty with so and so. Felt that passive aggression for a week. But hotel stuff can be like, and like looking back at this, I'm not sure how the hotel got away with this. Like technically, I'm sure there's some liability concerns, but bellhops could be like 16 and up, right? And hello, chat. Welcome to Work Horror Stories. We have someone watching and they say hello.
Hold up.
But yeah, so this was a really cool hotel, like beautiful, like Disneyland themed. I can't go into details, otherwise I would give it away. But like, it was cool. It felt like I was working in a different country every time I was there. And
Sounds like Epcot.
yeah, it's got that vibe. It's got that vibe, 110%. But bellhops, we had bellhops that were like 16, 17. And once a year, we'd have this buyout where the entire property would get purchased out. And this swinger group would come in, and they were filthy rich. Filthy rich. Like, dude closed a deal in the lobby with the words, I don't fucking care. Buy the entire fleet of 757s. And then comes up and is like, hey man, I'm so sorry about that. I had to do business. I'd like to check in. I'm like,
The 7
Money.
fleet of Boeings?
uh-huh.
How much is 757?
I don't fucking know. Look it up while we continue.
That's what I'm doing.
Yeah. So like this is the caliber of the people there. But here's the deal about them. They were all swingers and they bought out again every single room. Every single room would have a different theme for fun times. And the safe word was posted out in front of it.
Oh,
So this is going on, and no one, this is like my first year being there, no one had like thought to warn me as the supervisor of like, hey, this is the code name for this group, right? And like we check everyone in, everything's going good, and I'm like, oh wow, the guests are really having fun with their decorations.
Yeah, they are.
And
We
oh
call
man,
decorations now.
yes. Boy, wait till the end of this story because it's got an attachment to a shower head.
It's coming. It's coming.
They were. Fun fact. So, we had a 16-year-old kid there as a bellhop, and he was the sweetest kid in the world. And like, we're all doing stuff, and I'm in the back of house, like working on housekeeping and stuff, doing stuff. And this kind of kid comes in white as a sheet and looks at me, and he's like, hey, Colin, did they tell you what's going on? I was like, oh yeah, we got a big group buyout. Why? He's like, I've seen things. What do you mean? And he just opens this door and just like, so I walk out and I look up and it's a beautiful courtyard, a waterfall and all this stuff. I'm like, it's a beautiful day. And then I look up to the side and there's a couple going at it on the balcony, butt ass naked. And they're not the kind of people that you want to be seeing.
It never is.
No, it never is. It never is. And I'm just like,
Not unless there's a camera around.
close the door, run back in. I'm like, oh, okay. Like, is your dad aware? His dad is the maintenance engineer there. So we call his dad and tell him. And I just hear the guy go, and hang up. Just leaves his kid to deal with this shit. And we're like, oh my God. So we had to deal with basically this hotel becoming a nudist colony. At the tail end of it, we had these two special events. One was housekeeping calling me in broken English, being like, can you please come up to this room? We don't know how to handle this, essentially. I'm like translating it out of Spanish, like, you don't know how to. I'll just come up and look at it. I walk around the corner to this beautiful marble shower, and there is a giant hose with a toy on the end of it. They left it behind. And I got to call this person. Hi, this is Colin from such and such hotel. I hope your travels went well. Yeah, it's wonderful. Unfortunately, it appears you left some sort of shower attachment behind. Just wanted to know, do you want us to ship that back to you or anything? And they, not a care in the world. Nah, you guys can keep it. It's fine. All right, thank you so much, sir. Have a nice day. We look forward to seeing you again in the future. Is at this point, the second call comes in, and I hear laughter in the GM's office behind me. And I go in there, and the housekeepers are sitting there, and they're pointing, and people had left multi-pronged toys. And I'm staring at it, and here's this poor bellhop again. And he's just, Colin, this is above my pay grade. I'm not paid enough to deal with this. And I'm being the mature, responsible 21-year-old supervisor I am. I'm like, you guys touched it? And they're like, no, we wore gloves. I'm like, thank fuck. I don't know how to write that incident report. So
yeah, there's not a code for that.
No, there isn't. It's just an awkward silence for that. So I'm staring at it, and I'm like, I'm going to be honest. I'm not paid enough to deal with this. I'm not paid like $21 an hour. Hell no. No. GM comes in, and he's like, what is going on? And first of all, these things are sitting on his desk, by the way, on a garbage bag. So he's like, what the hell? And we're like, sorry, boss, none of us are paid enough to deal with this. You're going to have to put this in the lost and found because it says that we have to hold on to these for 30 days. And he's like, come on, you guys are being children. And he like goes to grab them like with the plastic bags, right? We all kind of filter out and we're laughing. And he's like, what? Oh, it has settings. And then we hear click. And him go, how do I turn it off? And I go in there and it's walking itself across the desk. And he couldn't figure out how to shut it off. So he ends up just wrapping it up in the bag real quick, yeets it inside of the safe, slams it shut. I hear it lock, and you can just hear this. And he just looks at me and goes, it'll run out of batteries, and leaves the property with no further information given.